The historic West Coast heat wave. It's boiling California for yet another day. The bone dry conditions are fueling these two large and destructive wildfires in Northern California. Combined, the mill and the mountain fires, they've burned more than 14,000 acres. NBC's Steve Patterson is tracking it all from Los Angeles.
Yeah, Yasmin, this heat wave now expected to continue on into Thursday or Friday. Dangerous for so many reasons, one of which is they're continuing to fuel the wildfires that are already burning. The two major ones in Northern California, right on the Oregon border, burning in the same county, just a few miles apart now. The mountain fire and the mill fire. The mill fire already proving deadly. 2 bodies recovered in the wreckage of that fire. It's the same pattern that we've really seen with all these fires in the climate change era that we're now in. Bone dry brush dried out by this mega drought. The powerful winds carry it, fueled by these hot temperatures. But the fire sparked in a neighborhood instead of in a forest. So instead of tree after tree after tree torched, it was home after home after home. More than 100 structures believed to be lost in that fire. Crews still estimating the damage. About 1,000 people still displaced from their home. Thankfully, the fire now 40% contained, so crews are getting on top of it, but they've got a second fire to contend with to the north, the mountain fire, now close to 9,000 acres, much larger than the mill fire, but also in a much more rural area. So they're hoping they can keep that entirely away from homes. About 300 or so displaced in that fire. All of this, of course, being fueled by this incredible heat wave that we're in. Temperatures here in Southern California in the hundreds for days, for like the last 5 days or so. Again, expected to continue into the week. Same thing for big parts of Northern California. Central California, though, they're seeing temperatures up into the 110s, 115s. That's where our country's food comes from. Imagine the farm workers having to be in the fields during that. So incredibly dangerous. They're warning about heat stroke. But the primary warning is from grid managers, because they're worried about the stress and strain on California's power grid. We're expected to see energy usage upwards of 50,000 megawatts. If it sounds like a lot, that's because it is a lot. So to mitigate that, they're trying to have these flex alerts to avoid the situation where there's more demand than there is energy supply. Those flex alerts telling people from about 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. to try to conserve as much energy as possible. Don't use appliances you don't have to. Keep the thermostat maybe around 78 or so. It's a tough ask when, again, we've been in 100-degree temperature days, 4 days now, but it's needed, because if that situation isn't avoided, then we could see rolling blackouts, the likes of which we haven't seen since 2020, which adds another dangerous layer on top of what we already have, which is, an incredibly hot situation here in California, which sounds just as bad as it is. Very dangerous for people here in this state and really across the entire U.S. West.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.